What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to Hungary for Success with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today we're looking at the end of season review for the end of season 5, and we're going to be looking at the start of season 6, the transfers that we're going to do, and then we're going to have our first 2 games in the Champions League against whoever we get drawn against. So it should be an interesting episode. Do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Maybe hit that bell to make sure you get notified whenever I upload. So here we are, fellas, end of season 5, this 2024 season, where we won the league, because of course we did. That is our new thing now. We are the best team in Hungary. Even though it did go down to the final 3 games of the season, we still managed to win it, and that is all that matters. So according to this, Mendoza is the signing of the season. Completely forgot that he was even a player. I did say Savov, who is a wonder kid. We have our first wonder kid, so he won't be staying for very long. God damn it. I've broken it. Okay, no, it's not. So Savov had a pretty decent time after he joined. 17 appearances, 13 goals, 2 assists. Ensue has been given quite a high rate, 7.3 for 3 games, not terrible. Mendoza and Rentira, Barriero, promising centre back. Do we have any other players coming up as wonder kids? No. But we did sign a lot of players. So that's interesting. Who played the worst? Malek. To be fair, he didn't really get many games. I'm not going to blame him. Tape was less than ideal. I'm worried about him. So our expected positioning, or the board expectations, were for us to qualify for the Europa Conference League. We won the goddamn thing. We're into the Champions League. We had an average home attendance of 90%. That's pretty good. Versace was the top goal scorer in the league with 13 goals. The board were delighted. The Champions League, we expected to reach the second qualifying round. We made it to the Champions Path playoff, which was the final round before we got into the actual Champions League itself. Then in the Europa League, they wanted us to be competitive. We got into the first knockout round, having gotten through the groups. Just can't really say too much about that. We did have a fairly tricky group, and then we played Benfica. Benfica was a hard team to play against. They expected us to reach the semi-final. Unfortunately, we only made it to the quarter-final, and they're disappointed in that. I'm surprised they're not happier about how we did in the Champions League and the Europa League, but that's fine. Our biggest win was a 9-0 win. Match to remember was 4-3 against Honved, where Gabriel scored a brace against us. And the goal of the season was in that same game was Versace scoring Matteo. I forgot Matteo was even a player. Forgot we had him at the start of the season. The reputation has changed. It's not changed over the past season. Yes, it has. It's gone from 2.5 star to 3 star. Our sponsorship is up a nice amount, 207,000. Broadcast revenue has plummeted. Corporate and hospitality has gone up. Competition prize money has gone up, but we still have more to come. Matchday commercial and retail has gone up as well. We sold 1,661 shirts. Versace, Traore, Hiroki, Savov, and Mendoza getting the majority of our shirts. The overall best 11 for the season had Hood Wagner in goal, Pierlevski and Rentier as our wingbacks, Christian Mark and Derek as our centre backs. They did play a lot of games together when Christian Mark appeared in the team. 6'6" and a 6'4" centre back, I think it is. Kovic and Berkaliak as our central midfield. Versace and Abe as the wide. I suppose Carlsberg was injured for a good portion of the season. Savov and Mandira as the 2 strikers, scoring many goals. We did win the Hungarian Manager of the Year, which hasn't been confirmed yet, but thank you very much for informing me now. Fans Player of the Season, Abe. He was pretty good, to be fair. Young Player of the Season went to Versace. Signing of the season to Mendoza. Goal of the season went to Versace. Top goal scorer Mandiro, only getting 26 goals. Abe had the most assists with 27, and the most player of the matches with 10. Traore, or Abe, also had the highest average rating of 7.5. Which would explain why he won fans player of the season, because those 2 things are correlated. And the most passes completed per 90 minutes, Traore with 91. Abe broke a record for most assists with 27, and man of the match, or player of the match, in a season at 10. Savov, our transfer signing, 3.8 million. We sold Diaz for a record-breaking 2.88 million, but that could still rise. And the youngest goal scorer went to Georgi Saman, 16 years and 88 days. Abe has won Hungarian division most player of the match. Okay, yeah, most player of the match of the season and the player of the year, which is delightful. It's history of the making. That spell of football in the middle of the season was the making of Dorogi. It really set them up for success. Thank you, Peter Pinter. So that is the end of season review. The overall best 11. Is there any new players after being put into this? No. But Abe has made it onto the bench. Mursitz, what are you up to these days? Still playing for Haladas. Transfer listed. Did not play a single game this year. Is there any players in the first team actually that are no longer with us? How's Ortiz getting on back in Ecuador? Good start, good end to the last season. Terrible or this season. Schedler not having a great time at Schentelwick. Hasn't played a single game this year. And the fridge, how did you get on in Zlin? 24 games, 7 goals. That's kind of what you'd expect from him, really. Markella is at Meshkoved. Played twice. I think he may regret leaving. Typhonbach, what are you up to? Playing for Hanvid. Yeah, we played him a lot more than that. To be fair, he's not actually not that bad of a player. Gabriel, he had a good season. 32 appearances, 12 goals in the league. And Karate, also at Schentelwick, 28 and 8. He was a very good one season player for us. And he just kind of fell out of the team. And Schentelwick paid a decent amount of money for him. And he's not done an awful lot since. So we've already looked at the end of season review. What was our expected points? Or sorry, expected goals? 73 or 75.3. We actually got 83. Expected points were 66. We got 75. Expected us to win the league, and we did. So for next season, the club culture is direct, counter-attacking, entertaining, attacking football. How can you play direct, counter-attacking, entertaining, and attacking football? But they want us to work within the wage budget challenge for the title, which means this year we probably won't, because that's what they're asking for. They want us to reach the third qualifying round, which I think we could do. Our contract expires this year, but our youth and training facilities are improving. They want us to win the division and then just continue to win it after that. I can do all of those things, hopefully. This is how our hierarchy is working out. 21 players are just other. Interesting. Let's see what we have planned for next season. Could do it all again next year. Do you really think Versace, Perlescu, Pushkash, and Katona? I disagree. Setting us an unachievable target. Yeah, I respect your opinions. I'm going to point my finger and say, but on a good show, also expecting you to give a good account of ourselves. I think we can do that. Outstretched arms. That's exactly the direction I was after. And it's some promises. Youth. I'm sure Katona. See, this is weird because the younger players are always like, why would you do that? It's enough promises for now. That sounds good to me. Enjoy your pre-season or your time off. Yeah. Sometimes it does not work out, and that is a case of exactly why. Sometimes just gotta keep your mouth shut. We'll ignore this because the personal assistant, I don't even know what football is. Takash had 62% of the season out. To be fair, did damage his cruciate ligaments, but also had 4 injuries total. End of season break. The lads will be back at the end of next month, so they have a nice little bit of time off to enjoy. Abe, most player of the matches. Congratulations on that. With 5 in the league. Only had 5 in the league. Our players that made it into the team of the season: Rentira and Mark at centre back, Abe and Versace as our wide men, Mandira and Mendoza up front. The 2 guys who could not play football together are 1 and 2. Hodzik wins the top goal scorer. To be fair, we had inconsistent strikers this year. The young player of the year went to Robert Veg, who's actually didn't have a terrible season for Patch. He wasn't the first choice goalkeeper, but he actually played really rather well. Ronald Ulbert, 21 years old. His you'd say it's probably his third season. He's got second as young player, and Brockhauser, an MTK striker who really only got his first taste of top division football this year. I won manager of the year because of course I did, because I am fantastic and everyone's just trash in this division. They're not. I just, why not be a little bit of a dick when I can? We don't have a huge balance at the minute, but we are waiting on Champions League money to come true because Juventus play Man City. I think we might get money for, or it's the Europa League we're going to get money for. Real Madrid and Inter playing in the final of that. And the Europa Conference League has Braga playing Frankfurt. So interesting times for those teams. Club atmosphere is fantastic. Managerial support is quite good. It's gone down a little bit because of obviously the terrible conversation we had with them. But the 31 players that we have in the first team, which I'm definitely going to be looking to get rid of some of those players because I like to have a 20, 25, 26. We just brought some of the younger players up. I would imagine some of these players are going to be on the road. Abe now has interest in him from HBFC. Oh, Haiba. Okay, so let's just pop a. Okay, so he's got an asking price of 2.9 million. So if he gets offered that, we are losing him. Pushkash, still wanted by Meshkoved. You're still wanted by some of the best teams in the world. Katona, still wanted by Pushkash. So there's nobody in the first team that I'm really looking at going, I'm probably going to lose them. Abe and Mendoza, maybe. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So when you see us next, we're going to be taking on whoever it is we've drawn in the first round of the Champions League. So I don't think the players are actually going to get as long as they hope off. Because, I don't know, to be fair, it was July when we got our first game. So potentially they're going to get a little bit of time off. I don't know where we're going on our pre-season. We haven't been asked yet. So I guess we're just going to be staying in Hungary. So we'll be back for that in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Should be, hopefully, we don't spend too much time buying players unless we get a huge amount of money. We're only getting 40%. We're going to have to have a chat with the board about that. So we'll be back in just a second. Right, fellas, so the draw has been made for the Champions League Champions Path first qualifying round, and we've been drawn against an Albanian side called Vlanzia. I had a suspicion we were going to get drawn against these guys because everything that I saw in a news article about the Champions League, these guys were a part of it. So I was like, we're probably going to draw them. So yeah, we did, which, that's fine. We are expected to finish second again this year, but we do have 5 players in the Media Dream 11. Barriero Traore is still in there. Hut Wagner in goal, Abe and Savov. It's not too bad. Abe, unfortunately, might be leaving us. He has decided he wants to move on, but we have a deal in place to sign this Peruvian striker in the not too distant future. It's only less than 3 weeks. Looks pretty decent, so let's see how he gets on when he arrives. We do have some offers out for some players. Bene looks like he's off to a whole bunch of clubs. He's just a bang average at best goalkeeper. Don't really have any interest in using him. Beltran looks like he's going out on loan. Well, we're sending him out on loan. Fakete, because we have so many goalkeepers, he's being sent out to Romania for a season to potentially get some first team football, hopefully. We've Engard has 2 offers active at the moment. Botafoc, 69,000, and I think it's 20% the next sale. Or Soroskar, who've offered us 40,000 up front, 80k potentially in the future, or depending on what goes on in the future. It's in Cuba, might be on his way out on loan. It depends if Abe's sale does go through. It's Changchun in China. Yeah. They've offered 2.5 million, not quite his release clause, but he does want to leave. So we've accepted that. He just after winning the Hungarian League Player of the Season or something like that. He won an award anyway. And then Mr. Solo Dolo could be going to Stade Malien in Mali, or Pax, maybe going back to Pax again for a second season. I'm not too fussed about where he goes. He had 5-star potential. He's lost a lot of it. I don't think he's going to be good enough to play for us. We have better strikers. So it looks like he could potentially be playing against us again this season or in Mali. We have to wait and see what happens. But transfers that we have finished, as you'll see, 4 players have left for 400,000, or combined 400,000. We spent 230,000. First one we're looking at is Marcelo Suarez. For the last 3 seasons, he's been coming to me and saying he's not good enough to play for the first team. And I'm like, yeah, but you're a handy player to have around. Pex came in and went 89 grand, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. He was valued at like 42 or something. Zoltan Katona, an offer came in from Pushkash Academia, 250k. I was like, we have lots of centre midfielders. Katona's good, but I'd like to cash in now, potentially get some money in the future for him. Laszlo Bresh, don't really care about him. And Juhasz came back from his loan at Honvéd, where he did absolutely nothing. And Schentlerik said 60k, and I was like, yep, thank you. So he is gone to play in the second division. Let's see how he gets on. I signed him thinking maybe he was going to be good. It wasn't really. So he's gone. Made 60 grand off him. We also went out and signed, as you will remember, Milhe Ilish as an attacking midfielder. We're teaching him to be a central midfielder because he's definitely not. I don't see him as a striker. I think central midfielder is where he's probably going to be spending the rest of his days. The board and fans were not happy with signing him because we overpaid for him. But I wanted a young Hungarian, so we got him. We did sign Oliver Batista Meyer to potentially play either wing. And then with Abe talking about leaving, I was like, okay, well, it's handy we got this guy in. So he's played. He's played 6 games for the Bayern Munich first team. He has played 149 times for their second division or their second team. So it's not too bad. 23 goals. So it's decent. We did release a few players as well. Artem Brui, or Belarusian, that came in, never got a chance in the first team. Just kept loaning him out. There was no point in keeping him. I kept extending his contract because I was like, maybe he's going to come good. He never did. Berna was released as well. He was just not good enough anymore. Giersik released, not good enough anymore. Zima has been released for over a week and has yet to get a new club. There's lots of clubs who were interested in him. Only Kishvarda now. That's disappointing. And Takash, who had a horrendous injury, I think it was a cruciate ligament. Yeah, damaged cruciate ligament. Spent 8 months out injured. We didn't agree a deal with him because I didn't think he was worth keeping. And Pax look like they're going to be signing him. So hopefully he gets an opportunity to continue playing football in the future. We did, however, lose a couple of our youth prospects. The way, like, your youth candidates come through and you're like, when you lose them, it's like, oh, this guy signed for whoever. It was Hertha Berlin took one of our players this time, and I think Ferencváros have taken another one. So interesting when they come up. Are they going to pop up here? Or if when they get signed, it'll pop up here, so I get to see how good they actually are. So I'm interested in that. I can't wait to see if any of those players ever do anything, and if they do we have the potential to actually get in and sign them? Interesting. If we do beat, what's the name, Valencia, gonna go with that. Second qualifying round, we'll then play Sheriff Tiraspol or Lincoln Gibraltar. So it'll be an interesting game. If we can win these 2 games and then beat either one of those 2 teams, be interesting to see who we get in the next round, because there's some pretty good teams in here. Like, we could end up playing Legia, which would just be insane, because parent club, even though we don't use them anymore, really. It'll be interesting. But this is how we're going to be lining up for the first game in the Champions League, which will be in tomorrow's or the next episode. Hood Wagner's in goal, Pierre-Levscu and Rentira as our wingbacks, Christian Mark and Barriero as our centre backs, Traore and Divic as our central midfield, Versace and Bautista Mayer as our wide men, Mandira starting up front with Savov. We have a whole bunch of unregistered players. You'll notice Mendoza is unregistered. He was playing for Guatemala, and you'll also notice he's still playing for the club. So we managed to keep hold of him. They had a World Cup qualifier, which I'm guessing, they still have games to go. When's the? Yeah, he went I was told he was going to be gone until after these games. So that is slightly annoying. We're without our best striker, who signed a new deal with us. So he's going to be here for another 3 seasons, which I can't believe he agreed to sign. When PSG, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, I think Arsenal were after him, he just was like, "Yeah, I'll sign a new deal. No bother." It's like, excuse me. So we have them. We do have a very bloated squad at the moment. I think it's like 35 players. 35 players in the first team at the minute. We do have some players in this list that are looking to get loaned out, or we're going to try and sell some of them. A couple of them might surprise you. So if you come back for the next episode, there might be transfers in between. For example, Abe, probably going to be gone. I don't really want him to leave, but at the same time, it'd be nice to cash in on him. Get a bit of cash money after a season and a half having him in the first team. It was really good last year. I kind of feel like 2.5 million isn't really enough. We'll have to wait and see. Still expects to only be a squad player. It's insane. So, like I said, tomorrow's episode, our next episode is going to be both legs against Valencia. As you can see, we have a huge amount of friendlies. I don't know what my assistant manager is doing. Just decided he wants to play every club in Europe. So we're going to be back for that episode to find out if we get into the next round of the Champions League. If you have enjoyed this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Share with all of your friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!